Yes, indeedy, that theme tune means it's strictly Canalside, right here with Canalside's The Thread, 102.8 FM. I'm Mark Blackman, and over in the corner we have our very own Michael from Aikita School of Dance. Hello, Michael, how's it going?
Hi, Mark, how are you?
Good, very well, thank you. So, an interesting week for week 2 for Strictly, don't you think?
A total change around, absolute total change around this week.
Yes, indeed, because obviously we've had, we're going to talk about it a bit later, obviously, but that little controversy with Anastasia. Brendan not really being quite happy with her because it was Anastasia and Melvin in the bottom 2, wasn't it? Which was quite surprising.
Yeah, for the dance-off.
Indeed. And Anastasia didn't quite want to do it, did she? But bear in mind, she did have the injury, didn't she? So
she did have the injury, but if it was an open competition, Mark, then she would have had to have left.
Really?
So I'm judging one this Sunday.
Yes.
And if they say they got to a final, a couple got to a final, and one of the couples said, I'm injured, then they like any other sport or any other thing, they would have to leave.
You have to pull out, yeah.
So as good as she might be, and I feel very sorry for what the lady's been through.
Yeah.
Then it's going to cause a problem, isn't it, in some way, shape, or form for the television company?
Well, that's it, and also with Brendan as well. Obviously, he's been there since series 1, hasn't he? Really, so he's been with all the dancers, Natasha Kaplinsky, everybody who's done that as well with him. Do you reckon there will be a kind of rift between Anastasia and Brendan now? It's a bit difficult to say.
Yeah,
really,
only time will tell.
Yeah,
only she could always sing for them.
Yeah, of course. Be on the back end singers.
Yeah, great singer.
No, well, we'll be talking more about Anastasia and Brendan's dance in a bit. But first off, though, let's talk about Danny Mac because Danny Mac, of course, being from Hollyoaks, and he danced In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart, as well as the Viennese Waltz, wasn't it? Really. So tell us your thoughts about this one, Michael. What do you reckon?
Top line, excellent. And when we talk about the top line in the frame, in the ballroom dances, the man in particular has to keep a frame that doesn't move. And this guy kept the frame all the way through it, probably one of the best. Tried his fleckles, tried to do a correct fleckle. Fleckle is the fast spin that they do around. A lot of them fake it.
Oh, right.
He had a go at doing a correct one.
Yes.
And the word fleckle actually means spot.
Right.
So they stay on the spot.
Well, so you learn something new every day. I didn't
so.
know that as well.
I hope so.
That's brilliant. And he actually was joined top of the leaderboard as well with Louise Redknapp, wasn't it? So we were talking about that last week as well with Louise's dance and Danny, what do you reckon the favourites are and stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's still early days, isn't it?
It is early days, and I think you could see, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later on, how things can change with the dance. For instance, the famous Ed balls, glitter balls. Last week I was saying he should be out, and it depends what dance he gets this week, but he did the Charleston.
He did, yes.
Didn't he do a good job with that?
I've got to say, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
We did say Ed balls would probably be in the bottom 2, didn't we, last week? So, very surprised.
So he did a good job with it, but we've got to remember that the Charleston hasn't got the same technical requirements as some of the other dances, for instance, a Viennese waltz or a cha-cha or a rumba. So it's more entertainment value, and he did all right. He did all right.
All credit to him.
Yeah.
All credit, I'm going to say. I reckon we'll be talking more about Ed a little bit later as well. Let's do the first tune then, what Danny Mac danced to last week. And this is In Excess and Never Tear Us Apart.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart.
Aikita Dance Studios have been the premier dance studio in the Cheshire area for nearly 40 years. Whether amateur or professional, Maikita has something to offer you. Maikita prides itself in being more than just a dance studio. If you're looking to meet fun and friendly new people with a similar mindset, then Maikita is the place to be. Whether you want a tango in a private session or foxtrot in a group, Maikita has a course tailored to suit your needs. Call 01625 61 25 58 for more details or visit on Snape Road, Macclesfield.
So welcome along, we're doing strictly Canalside here. Canalside's the Thread 102.8 FM, joined by Michael from Maikita, of course, on the Snape Road to Macclesfield. And we just played In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. We've got a right tune coming up next, one of my favourite from the 90s, in fact. M People, moving on up. And this was Melvin and Jeanette that danced to this one this week. So,
Yeah.
It was a bit of tango, wasn't it, from what I'm mistaken?
Yeah, they did try to do a tango to it. In actual fact, the song itself, and Heather Small, of course, who was the lead singer,
Yes.
with them people, did dance on Strictly.
Oh, of course.
But she didn't sing this song.
No.
And I think it would make a better cha-cha. I
Yeah,
don't think it quite fits into the genre of tango.
It's very much, there's loads of sax in there and everything else like that when you think about it. So it's a very, like you said, it's a very good cha-cha rather than a tango, you know. So
if you listen to the original, the bass line is actually played by sax.
oh yes, of course.
They don't I can never really hear the bass line,
Yeah.
but I can hear the bass line played by sax. So
Oh,
it gives it
wow.
a very growly kind of feel to it as a piece of music.
Wow, fantastic. And it was one of those controversial decisions, of course, to be eliminated with no dance off. But Strictly used to be no dance off, really. Was that right in the early series?
In the early
or-
days,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, very,
It just
very,
like voted off and that was it, basically, wasn't it?
we were actually there at the very early one because the very first series, David Dickerson, who obviously lives in the area,
Oh, yes, yes.
used the studio for rehearsal.
Oh, yes, of course.
So
yes.
when they first came in, I
Yes.
spoke to the producers, and the idea was that they had one, maybe two series, and in the first year they did have two within one series.
That's right, yeah.
That it
yeah.
was a bit, get the celebrities on, make them look a bit silly,
Yeah.
end off. But what they hadn't realised that all the professionals were ex-competitors.
Oh, of course.
So they
yes.
brought it into a completely different level and has made it, I think, probably the global success that it has been.
Because it's sold worldwide, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The Strictly brand.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Dancing with the Stars in America, isn't
Which
it?
is strictly under a different name.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's on the ABC network
Yeah.
in America, I think.
In fact, Bruno and Len go from England to the
the
States
US,
and
yeah.
back.
Ah, right. So they'll go over there for a bit and then come back for our Christmas special.
No, they go every week.
Really?
When it was running, they were trying to
right.
go from the UK
Yeah.
to the US and back again within a week.
My
Isn't
goodness.
that grueling?
I was about to say, I hope they got a private jet.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed on that one. And now we're touching on it, actually, about the dance-off. We've got to talk about Anastasia Brendan's dance, of course. She got injured, didn't she? But like we were talking about before, it's a bit iffy, isn't it, when
It's
you
a
think about it?
difficult
yeah.
one, isn't it, for the producers? I think it's something that they've not really come across before. And maybe they have to rethink how they're going to do it with the dance-off because it is TV.
Yes, yeah.
And, of course, it's quite a big 10-minute section, at least,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
of it. I think, in all honesty, if Anastasia had have danced, the right person did go off on the night.
So you believe Melvin was the one, definitely?
I would have thought he
go,
would have been
yeah.
the one to go.
Yeah, yeah, because it's always the case, isn't it, with those kind of celebrities, you know, the ones. Melvin is a really nice guy. He
Yeah.
works in London
Yeah.
As a radio presenter down there at the station, and you know, he's worked in kids TV in the past, but it always seems to be those that go first, don't they? And then you have the likes of, you know, Ed Balls. I reckon he'll go about week 5-ish, week 6, something like
Probably,
that. Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so it's one of them, again, early days, having a look who's best and stuff like that as well. Because, of course, there's many others to talk about. We've got Leslie and Anton to talk about. We've got Claudia to talk about, which I've seen as well. But I think what we'll do, we'll play M People first, and moving on up, which was the dance, what Melvin did, who sadly is no longer part of the competition. He got voted off, didn't he? Yes. Is moving on up.
Maikita Dance Studios is proud to offer a wide range of stunning facilities to hire as function rooms. You may find the spacious ballroom or the expansive Stanley Suite a perfect venue for your event. Maikita's function rooms are available for weddings, 21sts, anniversaries, and a whole range of other private functions. Maikita offers a unique flexibility on catering and entertainment. You're in complete control. Call 01625 61 25 58 for details or visit on Snape Road, Macclesfield.
And we're talking all things Strictly with Michael from Mikita here in Macclesfield. And we just had Annie on the phone, Michael, as well, giving us a few views and thoughts. Yeah, she thinks it's going to be Natalie and Greg who's going to get the top star this week. Well, obviously, throughout the whole series. But she said also, an interesting one, we're talking about Melvin and Jeanette and also about Anastasia a little bit before. She thinks Melvin and Jeanette should be allowed back this week to actually dance off with Anastasia. And to see what happens, really. So, what are your thoughts about that one,
Yeah, I think they could have got round it. I
Yes.
think the way they should have got round it probably is let them both dance again this week and take two out this week,
Yes.
and that would put them back on schedule.
That's
You know,
right,
we have to remember it is a television program,
Yes.
and they have schedules to keep to. But if they'd have taken two out this week, no matter who would have gone out, if Melvin had gone through and they'd taken Anastasia out or vice versa, it's going to upset probably about 4 million people.
Of course, yeah.
No matter which way you do it.
Uproar on Twitter, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that would have been a way to do it.
Yes,
That would have been a way to do
so
it.
it's a good call there, Andy, as well. You know, obviously, and Michael's giving you that alternative way to do it as well. So, and we wanted to talk about this next. The banjo's back in town for Ed Balls and Catching as well. They danced to Charleston to this song, and we touched it a little bit earlier. Was it golden balls? We were saying, was it glitter balls?
Yeah.
Yes. And, with the dance as well, it was pure entertainment value, wasn't it? You know, when I was watching it. So.
It was. He knew what he was doing as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was very surprised. Very, very
I'd
surprised.
say it's not got the same technical value
Yes.
as something like a rumba or a waltz, but he did a good job with it. Let's not knock the guy.
We're not knocking him yet, so we did knock him last week.
But he deserved it.
He does.
He deserved it.
Yeah, former politician,
Yeah.
of course. That's what they deserve. And I wanted to touch on Claudia as well. Claudia and AJ. I actually watched a little clip of this before I went out on Saturday night. She danced the waltz, and I think it was Craig that said something about obviously the gymnastic-y element of it. You know, try to lessen that slightly. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't see it so much this week. I thought last week I made the same comment.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I think they have got a problem, and the problem is AJ's not a tall guy. He's about my height. He's about 5'7".
Right.
He's not a tall guy at all. And just a matter of interest, he's about 21, 22.
Wow.
A lot of people keep saying, and he looks very, very young.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Claudia's very small.
Yes.
So in the ballroom dances, they need to keep contact. The girl needs to keep contact to the guy so that wherever the guy moves, the girl follows it.
Right.
Now,
yes.
if you actually look back, if anybody looks back on the clips or if they've got it recorded, you'll actually see that they're apart from each other a lot because obviously if AJ takes her too close to his body to actually dance, she's really almost got her nose down to his lower chest.
Oh yes, of course.
So
Yeah,
he's holding her as we would do with a child in the children's classes, a
Yes.
small child. You keep them away and just let them feel the music and feel the dance.
Yes, yeah, feel that rhythm, isn't it? Really, yes.
But when they're dancing against adults, Claudia's dancing against other adults, then it almost gives it a childlike look.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting to see how that develops, really.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, we're only on week 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
You know,
It should be better with the Latin dancing
yeah,
away
yeah.
from each other more.
I was thinking that as well. You know, it's just when I was watching it, I was thinking, Leslie and Anton did the cha-cha as well. You know, she certainly put a lot into it, didn't she, Leslie? Indeed. So.
She did. And again, not as bad as last week, but as I said last week,
Yes.
her footwork was fine. It was just the fact that she was hunched up a little bit, but she had a go at it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, she
All
really
credit
she
to
had
her.
a go at it and performed it. She did actually try to perform it and put the actress side into it. The dance quality, a little bit dodgy.
Yes.
But she certainly put the actress part into it.
Definitely, so much on those as well. And Laura Whitmore as well with Giovanni dancing that waltz.
Oh,
now,
here we go.
There's one of those, isn't it? So they really rated it, but obviously you've got a bit of a different opinion. Is that right?
I do have
on
a
that?
different
Yeah.
opinion. For the listeners, if people who perhaps don't understand a little bit, a waltz is in a thing called 3/4 rhythm. So in other words, it has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Of course, yes.
With that 1, 2, 3, in a bar of music, in a minute of music for the waltz, there's 30 of those. So it's 30 bars per minute.
Right.
They were dancing about 1:45.
Uh-huh.
They did 16 bars of that in ballroom hold.
Ah.
The rest of it, as Len would say, is faffing about.
That's
Yep.
right. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so he uses that phrase a lot.
Yes.
They were messing about. Okay, so what are we going to do? Are we going to mark a dance competition where it is trying to show the dance, or is this a theatre competition? Is it an American smooth?
Right.
Because that's almost what it is. If it's that far apart from each other for that length of time, it's not true waltz, is it?
No, that's a very good point, actually, when
So-
I'm thinking about it. You know?
So on that respect,
Yeah.
it's a little bit as if you go for a meal
Yeah.
and you say, I'd like sirloin steak, and they bring you spaghetti. I think you've got a really, really good reason for saying, I don't want
I don't
that.
quite want that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not what we asked for.
What a lovely metaphor to end on. I love that as well, with Laura Whitmore and Giovanni there. So, next week, what are we expecting, Michael? What do you reckon? Bottom two?
Difficult.
reckon?
It's difficult because the dances that they're going to do. Ed Balls, of course, is going to do a Latin dance. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Claudia is going to do Charleston, which should suit her down to the ground. I don't
Yeah.
think you'll see the difference in height. I say again, last season was exactly the same. I thought the Charlestons were very good. I thought all the Charlestons dance this week were very good because it hasn't got the same technical content. But we just have to wait and see. And it's going to be lucky. It's always a certain amount of luck. I know Annie, who phoned in, I think it's great that you've got people who phone in.
Yeah, great,
You know,
yeah.
if they want to text in and ask questions, I will try to answer them,
Yeah,
certainly.
of course, yeah.
And she was saying that she loves Greg, and if you look at Greg's dancing last weekend, his bottom was stuck out quite a lot.
I noticed that as well, actually.
You couldn't have marked that, but it depends what the guy is going to get. His first week when he did the jive, really good. It depends what they're going to get as they come through to that semi-final as we come up towards Christmas.
Yes, yeah, indeed. So
Should be interesting.
interesting. It's on BBC One this weekend as well. And Michael, we will speak to you next Thursday
Thank you
as
very
well,
much.
getting you all the details and all that gossip as well. We're not going to try and be too harsh, shall we, for week 3? Especially with Laura Whitmore there as well. What do you reckon?
I don't think it's harsh. I think the truth
I
is
think
the
the truth is the truth, isn't
The
it?
truth
So
is the truth.
we shall find out more next week. Michael, thank you so much from Mike Keeter.
Thank you, Mark.
And we'll see you next week.